I am Leah Vachani. I am your host. I'm also a nutritionist, and I am super excited about our guest today, Dr. Peter Martone, because he is a sleep specialist. And I'm pretty sure if I could have everyone here live right now and I said, who has the best sleep ever and never has any issues? No one would raise their hands, maybe one. So I'm sure you all want to hear from Dr. Martone, and let's just hand it to you. So Peter, how did you get started with this? How did you become a sleep specialist? Because I'm pretty sure, like you said earlier, no one wakes up, and they're like 12 or 18 or 22, and they're like, I'm going to be a sleep expert. So how did you get
I
into
know
this?
I literally could be in like the most boring industry ever, right? So when you listen to like a sleep expert talk, they put you to sleep, and that may be a good thing, right? Maybe that's, and then you Google things online, it's like, oh, calming music to put yourself to sleep. I am anything but calm. I have such high leveling ADD that I'm the opposite of calm. So, I would just like when I was a kid just pass out just because I was just so depleted of energy and I never slept well. That isn't even the reason why I'm in the sleep industry. I'm actually a nutritionist. I'm a chiropractor. I'm an exercise physiologist. I was a professional trainer for years. And in my own private practice, I was helping people would come into me with very specific issues, digestion issues that you don't even think chiropractic can help. Digestion, immune system, hormonal imbalances, women couldn't get pregnant. We had a very specific practice. But I, as a chiropractor, had pain every day of my practice up until that years. It was about 15 years because I'm a competitive mountain biker. I skydive, I rock climbed. I did adventure races that were 100-mile races. So I would just chalk up all of my pain to, you know what, I can help you with the pain, but I myself, I'm just too, it's normal to have pain because I'm so hard on my body. And it wasn't until it was 15 years in practice. I had a little bit of a mountain biking mishap. It wasn't too bad of a crash. I've broken so many bones, and I ended up herniating my disc 3 days later. So
Oh,
this was really bad because I'm sitting in the emergency room. I've been in practice for 15 years helping patients fix their own problems. And I'm a chiropractor in the emergency room being was taken out of my house by an ambulance, couldn't feel my leg. My entire leg was numb. And I'm sitting like, how did it get to this? I've had back pain that I ignored for the first 15 years of my life. And now I'm in the emergency room. How can it come to this? So when I got out, I reviewed 3,000 x-rays and said, I got to figure this out. And I came up with a pattern. And that was, basically adapting laws of how the body adapts and saying, holy mackerel, I didn't have back pain all of these years. I had forward neck posture from adjusting people, texting all day long, being on a computer. And then the adaptation to that was a psoas major muscle spasm, which caused pressure on my disc. Then my disc herniated.
oh my God.
And then I summarized that I could fix that at night while I was sleeping. And then hence, holy mackerel, now 15 years later, I'm in the sleep industry teaching people as a structural sleep specialist how to improve their health while they sleep.
Oh my God. Well, my
Exactly.
burning question is, are you back to mountain biking?
Oh my God, yeah. I went yesterday. I'm going tomorrow. I have no pain ever anymore. And I never had surgery on my disc. I fixed it at night while I slept. And then fast forward 15 years, patients were never able to hold their adjustments long. That, I would have to keep adjusting them to be able
Yep.
to maintain the results. But once I started changing the way they slept, they needed me so much less because the destruction of the structure is happening at night while they're sleeping. And that really is where the true went off in my brain where, holy mackerel, there's two components to getting sleep. There's getting good sleep, but also, which nobody knew about until we're bringing this to the industry, is how sleep affects your structure if you get it done wrong, and then how that ultimately affects your sleep and your health.
Well, I think we should go right to what you were kind of alluding to is this answer that you've discovered, and all the women watching right now, I would guess most have sleep issues of some nature. And we've all heard the importance of, oh, you have to sleep. That's when your body is detoxing. That's when you're repairing. That's when all these great things are happening. But if you're not sleeping, none of that's happening, right? So tell us.
So then, so at drsleepright.com, you can take a free sleep risk assessment to see if your sleep is how it's affecting your health. But what we talk about is the sleep triune. The sleep triune is this. It's a balance between your conscious brain, your subconscious brain, and your body. So the conscious brain, it wants better sleep. Doesn't know, it just wants better sleep. Why? It might maybe want better performance. But the conscious brain wants better sleep. The subconscious brain wants to feel safe, and the body wants to be comfortable. So what happens is the conscious brain puts itself to sleep in this contorted position. It feels safe for the conscious brain thinks that that's a good, comfortable environment, right? But it just feels safe for the consciousness, but the body is in pain. So the average person will toss and turn 20 to 40 times a night because you're uncomfortable while you're falling asleep. So I teach about reversing the sleep triune, putting the body into a comfortable position, which we call the corrective sleeping position, where your weight is distributed over the greatest surface area, your supporting body in a very specific way. But the problem is it's an unsafe feeling or an exposed feeling for the subconscious brain. So then the conscious brain says, I can't do it. So the trick of getting a great night's sleep is start with the positioning and then back in the safety and then train your body habits to be able to stay that way.
Okay, so what is this position that I'm going to feel uncomfortable in, but I need to be in?
Okay, so then we're going to go to this 10-minute sleep ritual. You only need to do this for 10 minutes because when I show you, your conscious brain is going to say, there's no way I can do that. I can't sleep like that because all of the negative beliefs or all of the beliefs of, oh, I'm not going to be able to manage my airway. I'm going to be in pain. There's no way I can do it. So the conscious brain is going to prevent you from being able to put the body into this position. But I often give people so to prove that this is a comfortable position, I give people the 2-hour test. Try to lie on a couch and watch TV in the position that you fall asleep in for 2 hours without moving. And 90%, most people can't do that because we're falling asleep, on our sides,
Yeah.
our arms under. So you're setting yourself up to toss and turn and get miserable sleep all night long. Now, when I show you this position, you're going to be like, yeah, no way. You're in a coffin. There's no way I can do this. Because subconsciously, your subconscious brain's like, that doesn't feel safe. I'm going to be so exposed. But there is a way to create safety while you do this, and we do this with pressure. So this is going to be a video, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to move my screen, okay? And then I'm going to bring this down. All right, so I have this little neck nest here. And this is a pillow, okay? Now, I am lying, I angle the neck nest, and I'm putting the neck nest under my neck so that the weight of my head is off of the back of the neck nest so it's not supported. I'm looking straight up. My hands are down by my side. Let me kick some covers over here because I have some covers. And then...
Are you going to fall asleep on us now?
Oh my God, I will. This is unbelievable. Actually, I got like 9 hours of sleep last night, so I'm feeling good. So I put the covers under my chin. I got that under my neck and my hands and my feet. And this is so important for women that you do not share your covers with your spouse because you guys are both heaters. And as we get older, we tend to heat up a little bit more because of our hormonal imbalances. So if your spouse is under the covers and you're under the covers, the goal of getting a great night's sleep is to drop your core temperature. You don't want two heaters under the same covers.
Oh,
so
wait. Mind blown. Did you just say we both have our own bedding?
Oh, such a relief. And so, yes.
That sounds like such a simple solution.
I know, it's crazy.
Never thought of it.
Yeah. And then, but that's the positioning. So you
Okay.
start with positioning, then you go to temperature. The hands and the feet are outside of the covers, and then you can use pressure over your head to feel safety.
Okay, so hands and feet are out because then we can regulate our temperature easier. So
Mm-hmm.
no more sharing with hubs. Okay, got it. And then we got to put the position right. Oh, sleep. Oh, so cover the eyes. And that's for a safety feeling.
Yeah, so pressure against your eyes stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. And the
Okay.
parasympathetic nervous system is the nervous system that you need to engage to slow the respiratory rate, to slow the heart rate, and to drop the core temperature. So the more things that you can do to have techniques to decrease to stimulate the parasympathetics, the quicker you're going to be able to fall asleep. So what we find is pressure. That's why weighted blankets helps for ADHD, because when you use pressure over the core, doesn't have to be over the legs and the arms, just over the core, and you use pressure over your forehead against your eyes, that stimulates the vasovagal, that stimulates the vagus nerve, and it creates this like ostrich sticking its head in the ground to feel safe effect. That's how you hack the subconscious brain to be able to feel safe when you're sleeping on your back.
Okay, I love that. And I want to geek out for 1 second as a nutritionist because my audience might actually know this, that we talk a lot about sleep and creating like a cave-like environment. So just to be clear, the eye mask is not to filter the light because light can touch your body and you're still being exposed. Okay, wow, what is that? Oh my
It's
God.
the vagus nerve.
That is
This is your
amazing.
world. So the vagus nerve controls immune system, digestion, and reproduction.
Wow.
So in order to improve the quality of your digestive tract, immune system, and reproductive system, you need to have a proper functioning vagus nerve. So we want to do everything in our power to stimulate. The vagus nerve is 85% of the parasympathetic nervous system. That's why the structure of how you sleep significantly affects how that nerve functions. And so people with digestion imbalances, hormonal imbalances, and immune system issues have lost the cervical curve in the neck due to how they sleep. And that is why things get complicated. So it is so important when you first start sleeping like this to use that pressure over the forehead and the pressure on the chest, because you already have low vagal tone because of the loss of structure based on how you're sleeping.
Wow. Okay. So and I'm assuming if women don't have a weighted blanket that are watching, they can just use any heavy blanket or a
Heavy
pillow or
blanket,
something.
down comforter,
Yep.
even just a regular pillow on your chest. You just need to protect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that is amazing. And then I'm assuming also a dark room, just because we talk a lot about that, is going to be helpful for
Dark
just,
room is helpful,
yep.
especially if there are any light leaks. You wake up in the middle of the night. If there, you don't want to have a lot of light, right? Because light, well, more specifically, blue light stimulates that that stimulates the brain and starts to can trigger the body to stop producing that melatonin in the middle of the night. So you just want to make sure that the light in the room is pretty
Yeah,
dark.
so ladies, all those little LED lights you have in your bedroom, take care of those. They're still light sources, right? So we got
Absolutely.
to create a cave light. Okay, I want to go back to temperature for 1 second because this is a question from a lot of women. What is the ideal ambient temperature for sleep? Is there one?
No, no. The
Okay.
okay. So this is well, you don't. Okay. It is so important in order to get good deep sleep that your core temperature drops by 1 to 2 degrees. That is so important, right? Your body's 98 degrees. And there's effective heat that um your body releases at night because your major energy source is fat. So your major energy source is fat. So as a byproduct of that, you're going to produce heat. You don't want to have food in your digestive tract because then you'll produce way too much heat. So you want to have basically a temperature of 70 and below, 70, 68, 67. The cooler the temperature in the room, the more coverage you're going to. You need to, the body really only cares about from your chest all the way down to your waist, the core. You really only need to keep the core warm and then keep your arms and your feet outside of the covers. The more skin you have exposed, the body's going to temperature regulate more effectively. The cooler the temperature, the less skin you want to have exposed, right? Because you don't want the core temperature to drop too much.
Huh. Okay.
So most people that have a heat issue, they're going to have a heat issue typically for two reasons. First, they have too much food and they're digesting in the middle of the night, or they're toxic and they're getting a liver dump around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's going to create heat. So we have, and hormones are obviously an issue, but you can regulate those by using your covers effectively.
So a lot of women watching are experiencing hot flashes at night. And so what I'm hearing you say is it could be that you're eating too late. There's food in the digestive tract. It could also be that the liver is overwhelmed between toxins and the hormones that, the fluctuating hormones and all that. Is that what you're saying right now?
Yes, exactly. So let me ask you a question. When a woman has a hot flash, what is the first thing that they do in the middle of the night?
Throw the covers off?
Right? They throw the covers off. And then what's that going to create an hour down the road?
They're going to be cold.
They're going to be cold. And there's something in the body that's called allostatic load. Allostatic load is a hierarchy of systems that the body will shut down to survive. And remember, survive versus thrive. Those systems are immune system, digestion, and reproductive. So if you throw the covers off and then your body gets cold and it gets cold enough where it wakes you up, you've suppressed immunity, you've suppressed digestive health and hormonal balance. So then you throw them back on, then the core temperature rises. If you get too hot at night, just cover yourself from here to here and then just put shorts on with a tank top and have those arms exposed. Don't get the core cold. Allow the core to cool through your arms and your legs.
Oh, okay. Problem fixed. We can go now, ladies. I'm kidding.
So I've literally worked with tens of thousands of patients before I was in the sleep expert world, helping them with these very specific things. And it wasn't until I really started to dive in on the different stages of sleep and when the core temperature elevates, when it's supposed to drop, that it really all came together for me. And now we're able to predict what the problems are. But most of the issues with hormonal imbalances are loss of cervical curve due to vasovagal imbalance. You don't have a strong enough vagal tone or vagus nerve function to be able to regulate the hormones enough when your body needs it.
It seems like such a simple fix. Like get the appropriate pillow or structure under your neck, position yourself for at least 10 minutes, you said, only 10 minutes. That's it?
So I am lying to you, but
the truth comes out.
This is what I want. You're only in control of how you fall asleep.
Okay.
Once you fall asleep, let whatever happens happen. So it's called the 10-minute sleep ritual. The average person, maybe I should call it the 15-minute sleep ritual because it takes 15 minutes to fall asleep. So 10 to 15 minutes. So the average person just needs to be able to put themselves to sleep with the best chance of success long term. You're not doing it on your side curled up in a ball. It's not going to happen, right? So if you just start one way every night and create safety and be able to get out of your own brain, that's what we do at drsleepright.com. We give you tips and tricks to be able to help you transform your sleep or really get way better sleep by taking little baby steps. So the biggest thing when we created a pillow called the Neck Nest, we have tens of thousands across the world. And the biggest thing that people say is, I can't sleep like that. Well, you don't have to. You just need to use a neck nest to start out that way, and it will transform the structure. Then function becomes comfort. See, people are trying to buy more comfortable pillows. You can't do it because you're in you're not in a comfortable position. So you can't make comfort more comfortable in an unsustainable position because you're going to cause more dysfunction. So what we want to do is back in, put the body into a comfortable position, then create safety, which then will allow that comfort to happen down the road.
Okay, that makes sense. And you were generous enough, by the way, to send me one of those neck nests. And I have to say, I feel like I only last about 10 or 15 minutes when I set it up, but those 10 or 15 minutes, for perhaps for the layperson watching, it looks uncomfortable. Maybe as you're seeing it here, it is the most comfortable position I have ever felt my body in. It relieves a lot of pressure off of whatever I have pressure on. I'm not even sure. You probably looked at me and you were like, "You're a hot mess," and I am a hot mess right now. But that pillow took off. It just felt like it took off the weight off my shoulders, literally.
So, like looking at you, right? So right now, when you stand, you hold your head to one side, and then the head shifts over to the other side. And then, so when you turn your head, you're going to turn your head less to the left side than you do the right side. And that's coming all the way up, probably from an old right ankle sprain. So that right ankle at some point in time was sprained, translates all the way up to the right side of your neck, and it prevents you from turning your head. Now, make a circle and look at me through the lens from that circle. Make a circle with your hands and look at me through that lens. And now bring that all the way back to your eye, all the way back to your eye. Okay, so you're right-eyed. Good. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right,
And then do you kick with your right foot or your left foot?
right.
And do you have any ringing in your ears or anything like that?
On occasion.
And then do your hands fall asleep at all?
Not usually, except for the bed I slept on last week on vacation.
And then have you ever been told you have like adrenal stress where your adrenal glands are fatigued?
Yeah, self-diagnosed.
Okay. So, and that's because you have low vagal tone. And
Okay.
your vagus nerve is because the head's out of alignment, and then your
Mm,
hip would go to the opposite direction. So when you stand, basically you stand, like this.
yeah.
So as the head goes this way and the hip goes this way, which is adapting to that neck, you're picking up a psoas major muscle spasm through the stomach, which also affects the digestive tract. Now you're going to end up with hip issues, and you're going to end up with vagus nerve issues, which is immune system, digestive system, and reproductive system. You're going to put probiotics in your system that will work, won't work. You're going to
Mm,
look at, not you specifically, but candida. You're going to look at hyperimmunity, like allergies, hypersensitivities, not you specifically, but in general, and then hormonal imbalances. All of those are due to low vagal tone due to the structure of how you hold your head. So if you can then back in and improve the structure while you sleep, you're going to improve the function of the vagus nerve or the wandering nerve. And then that's going to improve your digestive tract just by changing the way you sleep for the first 10 minutes.
it's amazing. I mean, just one thing, one simple habit.
That is why that simplicity, like I say, saying before we started recording, it's so much fun being here because I've been fighting, I've been almost like what is it? Pedaling in water, holding bricks my whole life because just trying to help people and figure out what most of the reason why your health is the way it is because of your lifestyle habits. You are a product of your daily rituals. So, just like what is people eating? What are the stresses that they're under? And I ignored totally until I helped myself. Holy crap, you're in one position 1/3 of your life.
Mhm.
How could there not be a more important time to be able to get transformational change while you sleep than while you're sleeping? Because most sleep experts only talk about rest and recharge. Nobody talks about realign. And that's what getting way better sleep is all about, is awakening the full potential of a well-rested, aligned you.
Wow. And that's what W.A.Y stands for.
Way, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a question about that. It does. It seems so simple. And I mentioned I was actually on vacation last week and I took your neck nest with me. I actually just got it the day we left, so I haven't even tried it
It
in my
needs time to break in. It takes about 2 weeks.
totally. But I also noticed that like I tried it on the floor and it was comfortable. I tried it on the bed that it's not my bed, it was a vacation bed and it was not firm at all. Is there some like do you need a firm bed to make because like the pillow is one thing, but isn't the bed also part of the problem or the solution?
Funny, and if people want to follow me at Instagram at Dr. Sleep Right, I'm doing like 90 posts, one a day for 90 days.
Wow.
And One of them I just did was on the bed.
Mhm.
So I bought we bought a lake house, right? Not too far from where we are. I hate in the bed, like we bought all the furniture and we hated the bed, right? So if you hate the bed because it was really firm or soft, doesn't matter. We put a topper down. Hated the topper, got rid of it. Found a new topper. Didn't like it. Put a topper on the topper. Now we love it, right? So I like I tell people, you can save thousands of dollars by toppering your bed. You just find the right bed topper that fits with you. We ended up using a microfiber topper, and I love it. And then once you find the right topper, then you can transform any bed that you sleep in.
Okay, so it doesn't, it's you're not actually saying like a firm bed is better or a soft bed is better. It's whatever you feel better in.
Right. So right now you're sleeping in the wrong position. So the
Yeah.
first thing to get is see how your body adapts to falling asleep the right way, the positioning. Then we then make, let's say the comfortable position becomes uncomfortable. It's because of the positioning that the bed is putting you in. So you have a few different options. You can change the angle of the bed. You can use I don't have one here, but you can use a sleep wedge, a bed wedge. You can put multiple pillows so you slightly sleep and elevated, then put the neck nest on top of those pillows, right? So for instance, when I travel, if I travel like I fly all over the place, I'll take covers and I'll create this little elevated thing. And then I'll put a pillow on the top so that I'm elevated. Then I will take my neck nest and I'll sleep on all of it. Now I'm elevated about 3 inches up, and that takes pressure off of my ribs because a lot of time I've broken a rib. So sometimes if I sleep flat on too hard of a mattress, it causes rib pain because I won't toss and turn all night long. And that in itself can create some discomfort if the bed is too hard. So then I change the angles, I use covers. So if you understand the triune, we work with comfort and then we create safety, and then we back into, yeah, I can fall asleep like that.
Wow. Okay, so it's really about the cervical curvature
It
is
is.
really what
That's
it
the
comes down to.
integrity that we're trying to create because the body posture adjusts to head position. It's a lot. So here's the cervical spine. If you don't have a curve, which I'm going to say 90% of the people listening to this don't, and you lose the structure of the spine, you pick up that psoas major muscle spasm, so your hips look like that. So your hips
Also,
are out of alignment. So you think you have labrum tears, and then you go for a run and your back hurts and your hip hurts or your knee hurts. It's all stemming from forward cervical head posture because the law is the righting reflex, body posture adjusts the head position. The second law is Davis's law, tissue remolds based on the stresses applied. So if I'm sleeping on my side like this, and you do that for 30 years in a row, you're creating a loss of curve, which nobody is talking about. Everybody only talks about you need to have 5 stages of sleep. Make sure that your room is dark and you're cold. Like they're talking about all these
yeah,
variables
yeah.
that's downstream stuff. No, side sleeping is the best because you get the lymphatic drainage. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. So wasn't that study done on rats? Yeah, but
Oh,
we have a significant study in there that says we're attributing this to humans also. Well, if it's done on rats, the cervical spine of the rat is reversed due to the humans. So even all of this study, nobody looks at the integrity of the cervical spine in its how important it is to overall health and well-being.
it's like I just feel like it's so simple. Why
I
are
know that's
you making it
this
so difficult?
and I've spent thousands of hours of educating people. Like, can't be that simple. No, I'm not sleeping like that. It's like I'm trying to get the world to understand this simple concept.
And all we need is we just, you said it's about 2 weeks to feel to break in the pillow to feel a difference or whatever. So are you saying, by the way, is that for the pillow or is that for our spine?
Oh no, that's for so here. Let's talk about hard, easy, and easy, hard. Okay, hard, easy. No. Let's easy, hard is doing the same things and expecting a difference down the road. If you do the same things, you're never going to change.
Yeah.
All growth is outside of the comfort zone, and that comfort zone comes with pain. Not pain as far as physical pain, but the pain of change.
Yeah.
A lot of times is greater than what the risk reward is, so people don't change. Hard, easy is doing the hard ritualistic things, maybe losing a night or two of sleep because you're too over focused on it. But down the road, it's transformational results. So all I want people to do, because I understand that it's too hard for people to change, and the fundamentals of human psychology don't want to change. They want to change, but they don't want to do things to change, is just focus on 10 minutes. If I can just get you to focus on, it takes 2 weeks to break in a neck nest, but if I can get you to focus on just the first 10-minute sleep ritual, how you fall asleep, then the subconscious brain's taken over. Then let whatever happens. But I know if you do it night in and night out, and that's your ritual, it'll transform the way that you sleep.
God, so simple. Okay. But the nutritionist in me has more questions.
Oh, this is great. Let's dive in.
So I often talk about magnesium, for example. Now, is this something that could help with this transition just to kind of, I know, like relaxing the muscles and maybe your mind as well?
I love that. That's my favorite supplement.
Okay.
We created a sleep supplement called Deep Sleep, and magnesium, vitamin B's, right? Magnesium is one of the things that I like because it's not the hormone melatonin, but it relaxes and calms your brain. So I love magnesium. It's a great supplement.
Yes. Okay. So I can keep that in. Anything else like in terms of supplements or things that can help us with this
Yeah.
transition?
Okay. Especially for the anxious mind. So most people, what they can't do is get out of their own heads, right?
Mhm.
So one of the major problems with getting to sleep is falling asleep in the right state. People can have coffee and fall asleep. And I'm not talking about just falling asleep. I'm talking about falling asleep so that you are giving your body the best chance of success to get into deep sleep, to get into REM sleep. So the reason why you may recommend magnesium, like you just said, is because it's calming, right? What does calming do? We have two nervous systems. We have sympathetics and parasympathetics. Sympathetics are during the day. Parasympathetics need to be stimulated at night so that you can sleep. Well, what has to happen? You need to drop your respiratory rate. You need to drop your heart rate, which ultimately drops your core temperature. When can you consciously do that during the day? You can do that during meditation, during prayer, during relaxing time. Sit outside, in the sun, whatever it is. So if you work on relaxation techniques and you do it day in, day out, then you take a scent every time you relax. Take that scent, put it under your nose. Take that scent, put it under your nose. Take that scent, put it under your nose. Then at night, you don't even have to relax. You just need to take the scent and put it under your nose, and your subconscious brain will connect relaxation to that scent. So that's really a good hack that I use. And I don't care what the scent is. It doesn't need to be, I just happen to use lavender, but it doesn't have to be lavender. It can be citrus. It can be any essential oil, but that will connect relaxation in the racing mind to be able to help you prepare for sleep. It's part of my 10-minute sleep ritual.
Oh, I love that. It's like Pavlov's dog and the bell,
Yeah.
except doing it for ourselves. I love that. Okay. Anything else you got for us?
Yeah. So I would say, one of the most, I guess, influential habits that I teach and people really connect with is that you can't think yourself to sleep. So you can't think. When you're thinking, the blood's in the front part of your brain. You have to remember yourself to sleep because the memories in the sleep centers are right next door to each other. So if you remember something that happened in the past, a memory that you've already slept on, like I count people at my Christmas party and I still count them. And you fall asleep on one memory. If you rethink that memory over and over again, every time you fall asleep, you'll go to sleep quicker and quicker and quicker. And that's a way to calm your central nervous system down and get deep, deep restorative sleep.
Wow, I've never heard that before. That's a really good suggestion. Okay.
Thank you. I
And
really appreciate that, Leah. Thank you for
no, it's
recognizing
truly the first time I've
that.
ever heard that. I mean, and I've talked a lot of sleep stuff with people. So, I
Yeah,
think,
I'm not like a Google guy, right? Like, so I'm more of like a how-to.
yeah.
I was always the why guy. Like I ask questions like, why does sleep kill? Everybody's like, oh, sleep is so bad for you. Why? Why is it so bad for you?
Wait,
You
who
know,
is saying it's bad for you?
no, 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 no. Lack of sleep. Oh my God, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
like, wait a
Okay.
minute. I'm a little confused. Okay. Yes,
So
I
when
understand.
they say lack of sleep kills, how's it kill you? So I kind of dive into those things and yeah, chronic disease is related to lack of sleep, but why? And that's because it puts you into a sympathetic dominant state. That makes sense to me. And it shuts down the thrive systems, which further is the reason that reinforces how important that vagal tone is to health and well-being.
Wow. I mean, I truly think you've blown a lot of minds today. And
That's good.
every woman watching now, if you haven't walked away with the basic simple steps here, then just rewatch, you'll get it. But this has been, I mean, I think you've just helped thousands of women right now.
This is why we do what we do, Leah. Thank
I
you so
know.
much. That's awesome.
Is there anything you wanted to add that we didn't cover today?
No, if they want to get connected and see and come into our world and see if sleep is an issue for them, just go to drsleepright.com, take the free sleep risk assessment. After you take that, you'll get our 5 pillars of sleep. And if we vibe with you or you really resonate with what we're doing, then get connected.
And personally, I have to say, the neck nest pillow is really comfortable. In my personal opinion, haven't yet done the 2 weeks, but it's really nice. By the way, I don't know if this is okay to use it for this, but I have two boys and they run me crazy, like stressed out crazy. And you were talking about the vagus nerve, and I wonder if this is how I kind of found this by accident. I will go into my bedroom and lay on this for 5 minutes on the neck nest and just lay there, and immediately after the 5 minutes is done, because I'll set a timer, I'm like a brand new person. So I have no idea if that's in my head or if that's like the vagus nerve being like activated somehow, but it's amazing.
And now what you're going to do is you're going to do that with a scent. So put that scent next to your bed and then just put it right underneath your nose every single time.
I love it. It's been a life changer. All
Great.
right. Well, thank you so much. Ladies, go to drsleepright.com. Find out what's your sleep risk assessment. Like, you probably know you're not sleeping perfectly, but where are the issues? So go there, figure it out, contact Dr. Martone if you want to know more. He's obviously a wealth of knowledge. And thank you so much for taking the time and sharing all this with us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Leah. And I commend you for doing what you do because I know how hard it is and how passionate you are. You can tell. So you're making a true difference in this world. And thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, thank you. It's so kind. All right, guys, have a good day.